In this video, we're going to have a look at the E1 error code on a treadmill. It's a very common code, but it's also a very broad code. It basically means a speed error and can be broken down into a few different areas, and there's a few different things that will cause it. We'll have a look at those today, but the three main ones are your belt not starting, which will give you an E1 error straight away, your belt starting and cutting out after 8 to 10 seconds, and the last one is that your belt will cut out after 20-30 minutes of use, giving you the E1 error. So we'll have a look at all three of those and we'll show you exactly how to fix it and what causes it. So the first one we'll look at is belt not starting at all. If the belt isn't starting, it's 9 times out of 10, it's the control board that has failed. It's not supplying power to the motor. This is the most common problem in a treadmill, so that would be your first place to look. Second problem that we see is the belt starting but cutting out after 8 to 10 seconds. So you'll press start up here, signal will come down to here, the motor will start and it'll go as per normal, but then after 8 to 10 seconds just stops and the E1 error comes up. Now, most of the time this is to do with the speed sensor. So the speed sensor is located down here and there's a magnet on the side of this pulley here on the roller that the drive belt is attached to. So as this pulley here turns, every time it turns the magnet goes around and this speed sensor sees the magnet. So the first thing to check if you're getting an E1 after 8 to 10 seconds is firstly that the magnet is in place, because they do have a habit of once the glue dries out that holds them in, it just pops out. If it's popped out, it's probably actually just stuck to the side of the treadmill inside the frame somewhere. Otherwise, you'll just have to try and pick one up and put it in. If the magnet is in place, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the speed sensor here. First thing you can do is just check that the cable, the wiring is perfect and that it's actually plugged in. Occasionally you'll get vermin or rodents in here who will chew a little bit of the cable, and that will cause a break in the cable, meaning that the speed sensor is no longer working. If all the wiring is okay, you should just replace the speed sensor and that'll be perfect. So your last one essentially is if the belt cuts out after 20 to 30 minutes of use, or 10 minutes or whatever. This basically suggests that the motor is overheating, and the reason it's overheating is probably because the belt is running dry, causing too much friction, making the motor work harder. The way to fix this is to lubricate the belt, give it a good hit of silicone lubricant, whether it's a silicone spray or a silicone oil or a gel. Just try lubricating it somehow, then get on. If the problem's fixed, that's fine. If you find that it cuts out after a longer amount of time, hit it with a bit more lubricant, try it again. If it still keeps cutting out, there's a fair chance that your motor is stuffed, possibly a controller. That's a bit of a hard one to tell. But basically, armed with all that information, you should be able to fix 99% of E1 errors. Hope you found this helpful, and let us know in the comments.